Welcome to Strength in the Numbers. My name is Andrew Codd, accountant, author, and commercial finance entrepreneur, and it's my job each week to bring you leaders in finance and business and deconstruct with them their real stories, insights, and hard-won lessons into practical advice on the key strengths and qualities you need to remain relevant in accounting and finance today, as well as the steps you can begin to take to elevate the impact you make to have a fun, successful, and rewarding career in accounting and finance. Now let's go over to the show. Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Strength in the Numbers. Today we interview Ronald Hilario, and some of you might have seen Ronald's articles, but what you might not know is Ronald's native language is actually Spanish. Ronald, he's our first guest on the show from Peru, and it was his first ever interview in English. Ronald was really outside of his comfort zone, and I think he does really well getting across his concepts, and there was a lot of great insights in there, so absolute pleasure to have him on the show. Some of the things we discussed together was why it's actually important to eat frogs. And just to be clear that frogs aren't a Peruvian delicacy, it was just a euphemism to focus on the critical matters. But also why improving soft skills is a bit like learning new music. And it's important to blend that with our harder technical skills if we want to be what Ronald calls a keynote professional. I also liked how Ronald described the importance of the growth mindset as enabling us to keep ahead of technology, and why we should be collaborating more as a profession and continuing to build connections even virtually, and doing so with empathy, and Ronald goes into why that's important too. Really great insights on this week's episode. If you'd like to investigate the resources mentioned or connect with Ronald or even just review the show notes, you can find those and more at SITNshow.com. And as always, we really appreciate when you mention the show to your friends and colleagues. You can subscribe on all the major platforms: iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, and Amazon Music. And thanks again for tuning in. So that's enough for me. So without further ado, over to Ronald and the show. Ronald, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Andrew, for having me. Regard from Peru.
I know, yeah, all the way from Peru. You're our first Peruvian guest, so welcome. We're still a show at first. I know we're 300 episodes or more now, but it's great to still have firsts. So to help our audience get a bit more familiar with you, Ronald, would you maybe mind giving us a brief story of your career in accounting and finance, please?
Yeah, well, I serve as a head of group financial reporting in economic groups in Latin America. Pleased to be a professor at one of the best of 5 business schools in my region. My current role started when I had the opportunity to be part of corporate innovation projects to apply methodology, design thinking, and lean startup. For this reason, I decided to contribute with new perspectives to the accounting and finance community because my passion is designing learning experience that inspired me to co-found Star Skills in 2017. This is the first training company in soft skills for finance executives in Peru.
Wow. Well, I love when people are talking soft skills in finance, because I think now more than ever we need people to supplement that technical skill set to get the message across, because in this virtual world we're living through, Ronald, and I know you've written about this, it's important probably to become a bit more human, but for some of our audience, how do they go about assessing or accessing softer skills to help themselves deliver a greater impact?
Yeah, well, let me share one experience. Last year, I organized the first event in Peru titled The Accountant of the Future, which included topics like digital transformation and soft skills in finance. It was fascinating to design that learning experience for more than 150 top executives, in which I also put my skills into practicing to expand my network, managing poor and delivering efforts in marketing. Well, I believe that everything that I've been doing before was capitalized during that event.
All right, and like how did it, and during that event, how did it all come together? How did, like, if our audience were to try and improve those softer skills that you mentioned, where could they start? What would be a first baby step? What would be a good first step for them to take?
First, it's like new music Okay, it's a new mix because here in Peru we have lowest position in the technical aspects. Okay, finance, cash flow, IFRS, audit, tax. But the first step is, or the hard part is, to putting on new music, listen about soft skills, but is a mixing between soft skills with hard skills. Okay, is the key secret is to blend it, to generate an intersection, because the only way to be a keynote professional is to have a high standard level in technical with high standard in soft skills. Imagine the power of communication. You are a good way. You are expert in tax, for example. Okay, but also you have a good level of communication, using analogies, speaking clearly. I don't know. We have many examples. It's really incredible the opportunities that it will generate it through the intersection of soft skills, hard skills, or also the intersection with accounting with technology, accounting with psychology. Many for doing for the next 12 years.
But that could really be overwhelming for someone, like this whole sort of accounting with psychology. If you're a tax expert, improving your communication. As you're going through that there, Ronald, I was sort of thinking, you're from Peru, you've got this tremendous history as a country. You got Machu Picchu, it goes back many millennia, a bit like accounting to some degree. And now we're trying to come into this more modern digital age. And it feels like we're having to change very quickly and do it all at once. I appreciate we have to look at these soft skills to, how do you say, to be relevant into the future and tomorrow. But what would be like, let's say, people aren't going to be able to do everything at once. What would be maybe the first one or two of those soft skills could someone focus on? What would be the best return for someone? Where could they start?
The growth mindset.
All right.
Yeah. Everyone thinks about accountants like, hey, you have a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it's a barrier, but we have many examples. For example, let's see, reinventing accounting financial professionals will be challenging because we have developed an analytical mindset.
Yes.
In other words, we are used to analyzing past events to inform the future. However, the job market of the future will be oriented towards logic and creativity with the help of technology. Then we need to believe that we can create anything that we want inside the organization and turn your fixed mindset off.
I completely agree. Turn that fixed mindset off. Actually, thinking about it, let me give you, I think I know one was, you mentioned in your article, eating the frog. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think you were referring to a Peruvian delicacy. I don't think you were suggesting we eat frogs or anything, really. But what was it used as a euphemism for? Why should people eat frogs?
Okay, well, maybe we need the sense of the urgency sense to develop innovation projects here in Peru, because due to the context in COVID-19, we have many distractions. But eat the frogs means here that we need to pay attention in the critical matters during the day. Okay, these disgusting things, or yeah, and well, we have a way to start projects, but generate a big impact in your work.
I agree. I agree, and sometimes we need to take on those really disgusting activities, or we say roll the sleeves up and get on with it. But I can see people saying, okay, I might see the need for developing new skills to go with my technical skills, blending them. But how do I know? How will I know I'm on the right path? How will I know that I'm learning the right skills? What sort of benchmark should we look for that we're doing the right things?
Well, we will compete with finance and accounting professionals overseas for the best remote job position. Therefore, your preparation now is critical. And due to this, I've developed a practice called the 4 P's of self-learning. The first P is pick and purpose. Then ask yourself, why do I want to learn that? How am I going to the peak? and write it down in piece of paper right now. The second P is personalized learning. There is evidence that profound changes occur when we connect learning experience with our own necessities to wake emotions. For example, by reading articles, watching videos, listening to podcasts. The third P is planning micro-learning. Make your own project-based learning in bite-sized chunks. Don't worry about deadlines. Just enjoy the learning moment. And the fourth P is permanent mentoring. And maybe this is the most important P.
Yeah.
Find a mentor who provides you advice. Connect with a coach or sponsor, but the essential mentor lives within you. Let's go into the most deep insight in your subconscious with patience and hope. Then change your beliefs if you want. It's the hard part, but we need to be patient.
Yeah, I do think patience is key. So we share what we're learning. And the more we share and the faster we share, the faster we all develop together. And I think that's the key for me. I don't think it's a competitive environment out there in terms of we should be competing. We should be collaborating and raising the bar for all of us. That's quite a change of mindset, but that's what I felt like that you were going at, Ronald, was that we should be better at collaborating. And I think that should be more possible in this virtual world.
Yeah, for example, I'm working in Peru. This is one of the countries with the highest mortality rate from COVID-19. Okay. And given that business owners were so concerned over the continuity of their business and the health of their loved ones, that it has been vital for them to rely on me to collaborate virtually in this contest. I have the challenge of working with professionals who were suffering due to the coronavirus. Also, I've been dealing with pressure from CEO to make dynamic forecasts and scenarios. So, how am I dealing with stressful situations? Well, I've been building a virtual connection with clients and my coworkers with empathy. If I feel connected every day, I will probably be fully informed. The more informed I am, the more business insights I have.
Of course.
Yeah.
The more connected you are, the more informed you are. But that comes from getting those relationships and connections in the first place. So where should someone start trying to make sure they find the right connection so they get the right information to give the best insights?
Maybe we have to start it with the priorities, okay? The priority here now to put in practice your command is open a virtual space to talk about innovation in finance and accounting in Latin America. We have a few spaces, but we need to increase our span. And to achieve that and analyzing data of past events, running focus groups to clarify the why, how, what we should do in the next 5 years. The change start in accountants' reign.
Yeah, I agree. You really need to understand the why behind it. But also, I suppose, just understanding the why isn't good. You need action. So you need to understand what you need to do and how you're going to do it. So that makes very good sense, Ronald. Look, I appreciate you've been giving us loads of advice. What's been the best bit of advice you've ever received?
Well, no matter the times nor your title, there are 3 proven phrases always helpful for an effective leader. Please, thank you, and goodbye. Yeah.
Okay, it's short and sweet advice. I like it. Do you have an example of when that advice helped you?
Well, because it's very easy. It's very easy to get stressed during their day. It's very easy to disconnect with your people.
Oh, yeah.
It's very easy to take bad decisions. But it's also easy to say thank you for your people. Okay, it's like a way to generate a sense of a team, to celebrate others, to make a team during this time of distraction. Okay, for me, it's very important to reconnect with my people, just to say the three words. Thank you so much. Good job, my friend. Okay, these words generate a space. It generate a team sense with my group.
Yeah, no, I like that. Again, it's simple. I think people just want to be appreciated, and given no one sort of how do you say, given that there's lots of people who are probably working from home or with less people in the offices if they return to site, it's very hard probably to get direction immediately if you're doing a good job or if your work's appreciated. So it's
Yeah.
very easy to feel isolated and unappreciated. So I think that's incumbent upon leaders, but also colleagues as well, peers, reach out to people and just say thanks for something or drop them a nice note. It doesn't cost a lot, but I think we need kind words, but genuine kind words, not for the sake of it. Genuine kind words more now than we probably
Yeah.
did in the past. So great advice, Ronald. In terms of resources, are there any particular resources you'd recommend our audience go check out?
Well, yes, I have two resources. The book, The One Thing from Gary Keller. If you want to be more productive and you want fewer distractions, here you will learn to dial down the stress because we have a lot of these distractions. You need to have that one thing mindset. And second, on Netflix, we have a documentary Inside Bill Gates' Brain. This is an exploration of his obsessive learning habits. Yeah, it's powerful how this man learn every day. Okay.
Yeah, there's a very strong learning theme there, Ronald. So I like it. And I suppose, look, if our audience wish to continue the conversation, where's the best place to connect with you at?
In my LinkedIn, yes, you can find me on LinkedIn. Yes, this is a platform in which I'm posting my ideas, articles, and events. And well, that's it.
And look, we will include those links and resources in the show notes, and also link to some
Perfect.
of your other articles as well. So no, thanks for that, Ronald. And I suppose, look, we shared really great advice. I like the fact that there's a very strong learning theme there. Also, the four P's, very important. And I also believe that sort of permanent mentoring idea is key to encourage us, not just learning ourselves, but helping others learn as well and develop. If there's any remaining advice, would you have any maybe parting thoughts for our audience before we wrap up?
Yeah, to shine in the next 12 months, finance professionals need to work on their soft skills. For example, it is well demonstrated that as long as we have emotional intelligence, no matter how severe a crisis becomes, we'll be capable of dealing with it. And also, it's very important, write your main accounting process, procedures, and controls on a piece of paper. It's critical to list written knowledge to design change, prevent future costs of personal change over. Remote workers will increase dramatically in the next years. And yeah, and also maybe the last insight for you is that digital transformation will expand the focus of accountants. We will see more accountants in multidisciplinary teams to promote corporate innovation, such as providing financial insights and giving their knowledge in business process, finding the impact of human resources initiatives in a corporate governance report, or setting new KPIs to measure culture transformation program. We will have new jobs. We will have new opportunities, but it depends in our preparation now and to have the growth mindset put in.
What a great way to wrap up. Ronald, thank you so much for coming on the show and investing your time with Strength in the Numbers today.
Thank you, Andrew.
So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed today's show. If you'd like to know more about our guests today, their bio, and follow up on the resources mentioned during the show, you can find all the relevant links and more at sitnshow.com. There you'll also be able to get access to earlier shows, read the latest blogs, There's also an opportunity to subscribe to our newsletter, which will give you heads up as to when the next show is coming out, latest events, news, and anything that's going to be relevant to help you have a fun, rewarding, and successful career in finance and accounting. And just before you go, we really appreciate your feedback. If there's something we can do better on the show, something that's not working, or something you'd like to see, even a guest you'd like for us to invite onto the show, someone who you think might be able to benefit you more and also the rest of our community, please let me know. You can email me. I'm at andrew@sitnshow.com, or feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Just drop me a message so I know how you found me and we can connect. And really, it's our community that'll make the show. If we keep engaging and driving each other on, we'll keep on building our strength in the numbers. When all is said and done, if we can do the numbers better and finance better, we'll create more opportunities for ourselves, our friends, our families, our communities, and our businesses. So until next time, have a good rest of the week, take care, and let's keep building our strength in the numbers.